That looks fucking awesome.
Hey there guys, you might have been following along with our Raptor build across our socials, but we've actually got a couple of cars in the stable, and this one is the Mazda BT50.
Yeah,
belonging to Morgs. Yeah. So one of the first things that we did was the 2 baby seats in the back, but it's got a few other things done to it as well.
So we've done KMCs on this one as well. We've done Maxxis Razor ATs instead of the MTs. Obviously Morgs does a few more Ks, and having a family, we needed a quieter tyre for him. We've also gone the BP51 suspension like we have in the Ranger.
So how much lift did that give it roughly?
About 2 inches.
Right.
So I want to come up a little more in the front. That's our style, that's our sort of build thing. So
Recipe,
yeah, thank you. So we needed to make a few tweaks to the car, and we needed it done ASAP because we've got a big content trip coming up.
Yeah, so in 6 days we leave on a content trip for a bunch of different reasons, but we're taking the 3 different cars. So there's a fair bit to finish off on this, and we needed to get it done. So who better to see?
Yeah, down here at Built Wyld, Josh is going to sort the front of the car out while he's mucking around with the front suspension. We might try and fit rock sliders, but I'm not real sure how we're going to go.
We'll get Paul lifting the rock slider. I might take the camera for a bit. He says yeah.
So let's go find Josh, and he can talk us through what his plan is for the day.
Yeah, and let's do a walk around too. There he is.
Oh, what are you doing in there? Come on, mate, we got work to do.
Sorry, mate. Just been a while.
How are you?
Sorry. See you, mate. Yeah.
What are you doing here? What's this?
This is my drift car, professional drift car, but it's been quiet for about 1.5 years as we've been building Built Wyld, so building a business. So had a little issue at its event about 1.5 years ago. So the motor's being rebuilt on the go slow while we build the business. So.
And what donks in this? Obviously a SR20 with T28 ball bearing turbo and stuff? Or?
At one point, yeah, so it's not anymore. So this thing's got a 434 cubic inch, so 7.2 litre small block Chev. It's about 700 at the tyres.
Hell yeah!
Basically, if you can see the Speedway stuff everywhere, it's from a Speedway car.
That's
late
sick.
model. And yeah, so 4-speed dog box, like NASCAR box.
What sort of fuel economy?
Animal, really good.
Yeah, pretty good.
really
Probably about
good.
the same as my Raptor.
Yeah, just a little worse than that. We go with tyre economy.
Tyre economy, yeah.
Oi, me too.
Yeah.
We brought the BT down. I need your help, please.
That's us. We can sort that out.
So I want to come up in the front.
Yep.
We obviously put the BP51s in it, which are an awesome shock for comfort and towing and stuff like that. Being that it was Morgs' car, I wanted to make it as comfy for him as possible, but I want to make it look a little bit more our style.
Get
Bit
the
of
nose
Cali
up.
lean.
Yep.
You know, I know that you're becoming synonymous with builds that look good and function well.
Yep.
What do you want to fit?
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
So with the BT, the BP51 is an awesome suspension. It's really comfortable. But yeah, the height, I guess we can work with on that. So they are adjustable height. So we're going to try and bring that up as far as we can for you. So they don't go crazy high, but we're going to bring it up nice so it sits where you want to.
Awesome.
And we're about that. We want to make sure the car always leaves here looking the way you want to.
Yeah.
And we also even tell every customer that we've got, if it doesn't, we'll sort it out. So yeah, we'll make sure it's right.
Service.
That's it. Yeah, like to make sure it's right. But with the BT, when you do go a little bit higher, a couple of things you run into is the CV angles. So obviously we're going to put a diff drop in it.
Yep.
So we've got the Mungie diff drop there ready to go. And another thing when you go a bit higher is you sort of run out of adjustment in your wheel alignment. So the upper control arms will need to adjust. Pretty cool. Mungie's just dropped their forged arm, which is looking really nice. So we're going to use them. Yeah. So we've had really good results with the Black Hawk arms and a few other brands like that. But we've got the Mungie just released theirs. So yeah, we thought we'd use them on yours, and they look really nice. They'll fit in well. We've got the silver ones there, so they'll blend in well with everything. So yeah, we'll get it all fitted up. We'll get raised at the front. Obviously, we'll measure it, make sure it's spot on. You know, we know where we're starting.
Yep.
We know where we're going to go.
Yep.
And just make sure it's going to work, make sure the tyres work. You know, we'll get a bit more clearance with your wheels as well, wheels and tyres.
Yeah, we need a bit more of that.
Yeah. So that's us too. We like every car to leave here. You know, you can turn wherever you want to turn. You got your big wheels on, you got your lifts. You know,
Yeah,
as long as you,
Nothing worse than driving a brand new, the range, I really need to, maybe I should drop the Range off as well. Just turn into a corner, it's like da 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 da.
We're all over the, so BT's I used to sell them for forever, 19 years, and was building them through the dealership for about 5 or 6 years there. So know them like the back of my hand. The Ranger though, for the last couple of years, we've been getting into them really hard. So yeah, we know exactly what to do to get your clearance there as well with any sort of bigger tyre. So yeah, that's our thing, just making sure it drives nice, looks the way you want it to look. You know, customer understands the whole process, where they sit with everything regards heights and things like that. They know that before they go.
Can we have a look at some shiny parts?
Yeah, I'll show you some shiny stuff.
Let's go. Oh yeah, these are cool.
Yeah, so Mungie gear. So it wasn't originally the plan because I didn't know the timing of the arms, but just in time they've got these arms ready. So this is the Mungie diff drop kit. Been around for a while now, pretty early on with these. They're big on Isuzus, so this is an Isuzu platform.
Yeah, I've seen their intercooler pipes and stuff before.
They do really neat stuff. Jared's actually drift guy as well. So
oh really?
Yeah, from back in the day. So he's got a Safiro. So that's where Mungie came from. That's very well, I don't know, known in the BT world, in the Isuzu world. So this will obviously drop your diff, so bring your CV angles back to where they should be. Also, this has a little bit of movement in the forward direction of the diff as well. It helps a little bit with the angle. The main thing is dropping it down, just to get those back to where they would have been, or close to. And then this, brand new. So this one, so a lot of them welded steel tube setup, which is
like
good.
Fabricated arm.
Yeah, fabricated arm. Yeah, which is good and works well. But Mungie's come with the forged setup, and you use the original ball joint, which is cool because it's replaceable, the same as the other one as well over time. So we'll just swap that straight across. They have
That'd probably actually be really handy for, you know, people that go on, like let's say for instance if you were going up the Cape,
something goes wrong.
Spare wheel bearings, spare ball joints.
Yeah,
it's all factory gear.
Yeah, some of the other ones are like different in there. Where do you get them from? They're not a BT, they're not a BT50 one. Like you can literally go, I need a BT50 ball joint, and you're off. Also, they've got some smart stuff in here with the droop limiting side of things. Basically, to stop it going down too far. Again, to help with CV angles and issues if you get a wheel up.
Because that's how you spit shafts, right?
I even know shafts, not bad, eh? so wheel up, keep accelerating, your shaft's on a bad angle, that sort of stuff. That's how you hurt CV. So that's what this is about. A lot of people ask about warranty as well, because obviously these are shiny new cars. So everything else is still fine on your warranty side of things, but if you lift your car, they're not going to cover you for CVs, they're not going to cover you for any of those basically anything they can blame on that suspension. So what you're then doing is, okay, that's not covered by warranty, let's make sure, almost it's not a warranty, but I'm going to do the best thing I can to make sure the CV is going to be in a good position. So that's what the diff drop's about. And then the uppers as well, just help with the alignment when you get to that sort of height. And it will also help with so yours is rubbing a little bit on
the back and the body mount.
On the body mount. So this will help move that forward as well to help with obviously clearance, but also wheel alignment.
Sick.
At that height. So
I'm excited.
That's the plan. We'll get my mate John to sort this right out. And we'll check all the heights, we'll get it right and make sure it's sweet.
Yeah.
It's just nice not to be the one fitting it, to be honest.
Yeah, not wrong.
You're going to be busy anyway, though.
Yeah, we are.
While we're here, actually, if you get to a point where you don't need to be on the tools as much, is it okay if you take us for a look around?
Yep, there's plenty to see here, so we'll take you for a bit of a squiz.
We can definitely get a sprint car out in the car park, hey?
Yeah, there's options. You can choose. Yeah.
Where are we, Josh? What have we got here?
So this is Ian Botcher race parts. So focusing on speedway, but speedway and performance. So they've got brake lines, they've got padding for your roll cage, radiators. The suspension side a bit more focused on the speedway. They have Willwood parts, all brake side of things, performance-wise. 1 million fittings.
$1 million.
So any fittings you want, Aeroflow and lots of other brands as well. They do have some apparel as well, or like safety gear for racing also, but focused on speedway, but there is a lot of performance stuff here. So we've got a lot of drag guys come in. They've got fuel as well, so the race fuel like meth and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So the big dealers in that side of things, E85 at a race level rather than from the pump as well.
Yeah.
So very.
Botcher race parts, big time meth dealers.
Yeah.
Probably.
You might have to cut that bit from methanol.
Yeah, no, this is sick, and obviously bits of fabrication gear and stuff as well.
Yeah, little bits. Yeah, so some of it, it's like weld-in parts, and there's silicone joints. There's
full mini trucker special.
There's everything.
You got any sprint cars we can buy? I've always wanted one.
We've got a sprint car.
Do you?
I don't know if it's for sale, but we've got one. It doesn't get used much. You can have a look at it. There's a couple other things too.
Can I sit in it? No, we're not.
You can sit in it. You can.
Nah.
It's ridiculous. You
I
should sit
wanted
in it.
one so badly. There's absolutely no way I could sit in
You
it.
might not want one once you sit in it.
Oh, look, we got Fabi spray.
These are obviously a popular part of the business, the fitting side of things, so
And so,
they can get whatever.
why the race shop?
Yep. So the family's been in business. So go way back. I'll try and make it as quick as I can. But my father, my grandfather Ian Butcher. So he was butcher, the family butchers.
Really?
Way back in
Didn't
Ipswich.
see that coming, hey?
Yeah, just in the name, you know. And he was working on race cars out the back in a pit before they had, well, not before they had hoists, but they didn't have hoists much. He was in a pit working on race cars, loved it, or cars, loved it. Then started his own little mechanic shop, where the dealership is now. That got bigger. Then took on a couple of used cars, selling them. Then took on Mazda when no one wanted Mazda in the early 70s.
What?
Became big on rotaries. One of the first people in the sort of state to be big on rotaries. Early 80s, I think he got Volvo as part of the dealership. Sort of grew over there at Benamba there. Got bigger and bigger there. Then I got Nissan, Volkswagen now.
Yeah,
Volvo
yeah.
went away, but so built the business up. I think it was in the early 90s he started the race shop. So from the 70s they were racing cars. So it was obviously rotaries with Mazda there. So there was rally early on, and obviously then going to speedway midgets. So they're like a sprint car but no wing, the little ones.
Yeah.
So he's been racing them since forever.
Yeah.
Like back at the Ipswich Showgrounds and like way back.
Yeah.
So that's where it started, and then they started the race shop. I think it was early 90s.
So kind of to service the fun.
Yeah, almost
service
like
the hobby.
help us get our parts, but also saw a
True.
spot in the speedway world to get some parts up here. So that's where that started, and they were building cars as well. So building ground up race cars. With the
That's
sedans.
awesome.
As the leader starts to pull away a little bit from Mitchell G. Trent Wilson doing a great job. Addy Pascoe starting to come under pressure now from Shawnee Black. Black's fixed the 26 on the bottom side. The Matty Pascoe lane on the top.
Yeah, had a lot of success racing super sedans over the years with rotaries, and they're now into V8s now. But,
You know what's so funny is I actually remember one of the last times that we went to Archerfield before they shut, there was a super sedan thing, and I was like, does that thing have a fucking rotary in it?
Yeah, so there's some really cool stories. So they ran, like, we're talking late 80s,
Yeah.
or through the 80s actually, and then into the early 90s, or actually all the way through the 90s. Rotary, so they had a 20B, the methanol 20B proof
No
report
way.
that they were ripping, and they did very well. The best one actually worked the best for them and got really good results was the supercharged 13B on their flames forever, and it was quick. And there was obviously limitations because other guys had older,
Racing against V8s and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah. So there was a lot. People weren't excited that the Rotary would do well, but it was like sort of
Yeah. That's
but
wild.
it was cool. So they did really well. They did some cool stuff back then. They had the best story I know of is for a while there they were towing their Rotary race car with a supercharged Rotary, like a Mazda truck, but it had a supercharged Rotary in it as the
Dead
tow car.
set.
Like just cool stuff.
Imagine
so cool.
that
Back in like
scene
80s,
turning
90s,
up
yeah.
to the speedway.
Yeah.
So does that mean there's like an R100 out the back in a container or something as well?
Dad's first car, an R100, but no,
Really?
there isn't. No. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, big on rotaries early, but now obviously V8s with that tech and stuff. That's what you need to have.
That's
but
wild.
they have rebuilt essentially that old car with the new spec,
Yeah.
with a supercharged Rotary that's sort of going okay. They're sort of
And they're
still
racing
developing
it?
that. They've raced it a couple times and it's gone sort of all right. So
How cool.
yeah. So Par's Ian, my grandfather, so he's big on nostalgia lately. Obviously, he's getting on a bit. So,
Yeah.
So I'll show you a few things as well. Like he's done some sort of builds just because he wanted to do them.
Yeah.
So and they haven't done much work, but he
How
just
cool.
That's
built
so
them back
cool.
up. So
Yeah, we have to go have a look.
I'll go show you some.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Cool
Don't let me
kids.
get in the sprint car. You remember when you were a kid and you used to go to the hobby shop
Yeah.
and you'd walk in and just look around and be like,
I want everything.
one of everything?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it's like in there. It's just like big kid syndrome, eh?
Yeah, you too, boys.
That's the current. They're racing that at the moment. That's
And so
midget.
is this a midget?
That's a midget. Yeah.
Which
So-
is different to Formula 500.
Yeah, bit bigger. Yeah, so this midget, this is sort of like worldwide, speedway wise. So exact same as what they run in the US. Super impressive to watch. Screaming, I can't remember, I think a 1.6.
What engines are in there?
1.6 4 cylinder,
Yeah.
but just like off its head.
What,
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah. The thing about speedway cars is there's no middle. Like
What?
Like everything is
Oh, I
designed
can't
to turn
own one,
left.
that'd be
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, everything's on to the left, so there's less lock to the right as there is to the left. Depending on the cars, some of the cars are more factory, so they're sort of,
Oh yeah, look here. It's like,
yeah. But they'll adjust that also, so they'll play
wow.
with, there's stagger, which is the size of the inside wheel, a tyre versus the outside tyre. And some of them have so this brake's only on the left-hand front.
Whoa.
So you hit the brake, it tips you in the corner. So, yeah. And
Look at the ergonomics of this.
Yeah,
That looks
so this is the same
truly horrible.
Yeah, so it's the same as the Speedway, the sprint car, but basically
Look at
it's
that.
smaller.
How does a full-size human get in there?
So it's hard to see, we'll show you more in the sprint car, but it's like up and down, if that makes sense. So your accelerator is almost like down.
What?
So you push it down, and brake, and the drive shaft is in between your legs. Like literally, yeah, crazy.
How many people end up with injuries?
Yeah, no.
No, that seems to be all fine. It's more about the rolling that causes issues. So this is the big crazy thing. So sprint car is probably seen as the pinnacle of speedway, and these things are just out of control. So might not be exact here, but around 600-700 kilo car, 900 horsepower, extremely big tires, wings that just stick the thing to the ground, and they just sort of, when you look at them, they nearly don't make sense. So
If you have never been to the Speedway before, you have to do yourself a favour and go, because it is one of the best experiences ever.
it's wild.
Have you ever been?
Yeah, of course, when I was a kid with Dad,
Yeah.
but not before Archie closed.
Man,
like,
you
where's,
just-
Yeah,
where's
Toowoomba.
Brisbane now?
Toowoomba?
Toowoomba.
Yeah.
But I
Toowoomba's-
mean, there are
it's
tracks all
really
over
good.
Australia, right?
There's heaps. There's actually probably within, say, 5 hours, there's probably like 5 tracks.
Yeah.
So there's quite a few like here, but like Archie closing's not great, but a lot of our racing, the Super Sedan was more in Toowoomba and some of the other tracks as well. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a huge hit for that. And it was sort of been coming, the Speedway world's known it's coming for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's sort of expected, but yeah.
Yeah, just like drinking beer, eating dag with dogs, listening to naturally aspirated V8 screaming through hooker aero chambers. And if you've watched any of our Raptor build, you know how much I love them as a muffler. And just getting covered in mud.
Yeah. It's just like, especially the start, when all of them hit the go, like
Yeah.
feature race when they go, like all 900 horsepower times 25, just go, like that's the whole feeling.
What,
So,
like,
yeah.
just so that like we can confirm that I'm never actually taking this home, what's it cost to build a sprint car? Couple hundred?
Probably more.
Bloody
Wow.
hell.
Probably, a lot of them spend 100 grand on the motor.
100 grand on a motor?
Yeah.
Have you ever driven one?
No. I've driven a Super, the Rotary one,
Yeah.
back in the day. Had a go at that, but I don't know. Open wheels, this much grip and power, and like a bunch of other cars
No, yeah.
that just come out of nowhere, and on dirt, like.
There's no way that you can get in there.
So yeah, you can see like the steering wheel's like a tractor sort of shape. Then you're literally accelerating down. It's and then that much power.
Where is the... Oh, there.
Yeah, it's got like a thing so if you're bouncing around, and they've got the quick steer. So like
Do they have brakes?
half a
Yeah.
yeah. There's like half a steer is full lock type thing, and it's, the front just flies around. And this is the history piece.
Yeah, this is
This thing's
super cool.
So this is back in the 60s, 70s.
I saw the Botcher Butchery on the side.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So yeah, he
This is
basically
awesome,
this was
dude.
like the car put it all back together exactly how it was, drove it sort of around a paddock and parked it up. So yeah, but it's fully functioning.
Oh man, like the old Centerlock
Yeah,
style, Ferrari center caps almost.
Yeah, it's just like the crazy thing back then is like you're talking the 60s, like you can't, they just work stuff out. Like you look at their things, all their cars are quite different because it's probably easier to get things past the scrutineers back then than it is now. And like, how do you research something? Like you just talk to people or I don't know, look at
Figure it out.
Yeah.
just work it out. It's just a crazy world back then. And that's what sort of the respect I had for my grandfather, like with the business as well, like starting, like getting Mazdas shipped over from Japan. Like you just got to talk to some people. And like there's no internet. Where's that at the moment? I don't know. Like phone call maybe if someone's pick up.
Would send a fax back then?
Yeah, it would definitely fax.
Pigeon?
Fax and pigeon. Yeah.
What donkey's in this?
Same sort of things like a 1.6, like 4-cylinder.
Yeah. Obviously SR20 based,
SR,
God's
yeah.
motor.
CA, SR,
This is where it started.
4AG, yeah.
I can imagine this thing probably doesn't have double overhead cams, eh?
Right, sounds
That's cool, man. That's
as
such a cool looking car.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it.
Like every tyre's different.
Oh
So
yeah.
because like that one does more turning than that, but that's sort of like a guide that's doing, you know, less than that. It's, yeah, it offsets the grip and the way it handles. So they're working back in the day. They're working all that out. You know, they would have started with an all balanced thing. Gone, oh no, I can do this better if I move everything to the left. So it's more, yeah.
Imagine saying to someone, I'm going to offset the centre line of my car because I think it's going to work better.
Back in the day, yeah.
But
Yeah, that would have been some revolutionary thinking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So looking around here, I can't see any BT50s in here.
No,
How did
that's right.
Built Wyld come
So,
about?
well, really through my job. So obviously through the family, I had the love of racing, and then I was doing drifting. So I decided to sort of go a different way to the speedway, and had done drifting ever since I was about 19.
Yeah.
But yeah, just through the business, I was working as part of the dealership, and yeah, selling Mazdas, and enjoyed that side, enjoy getting out and about. So yeah, just the love of, you know, I don't know, making cars look good and enjoying adventure and getting out there. So that was when I was at the dealership, and then just sort of saw the opportunity that I could do this on my own. You know, instead of through the dealership, basically I could build the cars that people really like and the way they like them, and look at different brands more than just Mazda. So that's, as you know, I worked with you guys heaps at the dealership, and then kept going.
And I see, like, obviously when you started, you didn't have an employee, right? It was just you.
That's it. Yeah. So just me and like outsourcing initially. So basically, I was sort of the guy who'd come to that I could put together everything. So I might get this. You know, some places maybe would push you towards their brands or what they offer. I'm sort of open to offering what you're after and the best option for you. So that was my whole thing initially, was I can put together these big builds, even supply you the car as well, so I can get the vehicles from the dealers, and as almost like a broker that can put that whole build together. Yeah. So that's the initial plan, and that is still what we offer. But also, obviously, if you've got the car, got it ordered, we build, basically put the package together. If it's something we don't offer, we get you guys are fabulous to do the stock, or we just drop it off here, it gets done, you get it back, and it's exactly what you want.
And I have noticed that all the people that buy your packages, like the cars that you just build and then on sell, obviously all start their Instagram pages and stuff. I actually drove past one the other day, funnily enough. I can't recall where I was with Dom. And I was like, there goes a Built Wyld car. Like, you can just tell that like your style and all the accessories and stuff on it, and it's cool to see them, sorry about the pun, in the wild and not having been changed since it left here, you know what I mean? Like, they're obviously leaving here, they work, they function, they look good, and people are just jumping in and enjoying them.
Yeah, make it easy. That's the whole thing, just make it easy for people.
Yeah, people pay for convenience. I'm a shocker for it.
Yeah, you are.
If you can make my life easier, charge me whatever you want. Don't tell Dom. Which car ended up with the big trumpet thing? This one?
This one did, yeah. But we turned that into a 15 front, but we changed it back to a 13 front. Yeah. Just prefer the look. Yeah, so this one, my other race car was going overseas at the time, so we bought this one as sort of a local race car, not as big a performance as the other one. So way back, you helped me with this.
Yeah.
So you did intercool piping.
Mobile, probably out of my suitcase in the back of the Hilux.
Next door, yeah. It was next door at the old race shop. So
it was too.
Just up there, And yeah, that was when I had just like a pretty standard, your favourite, SR with a T28. I think it was a weapon back then. We just had, the only thing we did, we had E85 in it, but everything else was just like a T28 and an SR, and it ripped back then. But since then it's ended up with a bit more powerful SR. It turned into an S15, you did a crazy noisy muffler for it. Yeah, and then we ended up changing it back to the S13 front just because we like the look.
What else you got floating around here?
This is my cousin's S15, it's been sitting around for a bit, but he's going to fix that. He's going to make it nice and shiny soon.
Got that barn find.
Pretty special, that barn find, yeah. This is sort of the main race car that the family has. So this is the super sedan. So they race all around Australia. This is actually we have the main race car is down in Tasmania right now, competing in a couple of big events down there. This one runs a what's called a crate LS motor. Which is a new thing a lot of them are going that way because it's.
Does that mean like there's like limits to the class?
Heaps of limits in like weight and what size tyres and all that sort of stuff. Like engine size, so horsepower, if you can somehow squeeze it out of that. You got an RPM limit, that sort of stuff in it. Yeah. With the LS though, you buy the motor from the crate and you put it in the car. Race car. So it's got like 525 horsepower, but because that's a less, the motor they've been able to use is a 366 cubic inch V8, a certain amount of RPMs, they sort of can make sort of 800 horsepower out of. They have a higher weight minimum.
Yep, I understand.
So a lot of it's actually the motor because they're all iron blocks or steel blocks. So whereas these are an alloy block, but you can run a like 200, it's like 150 or something kilos, around about that, maybe, I believe, somewhere like that, 200 kilos lighter car
Yep.
in the series, so that's sort of coming through. But anyway, this is the second car running one of those LSs, so we actually had a American fella come over, that's why we got the American sign. He was driving it, big name over in the US, Devon Moran, a few weeks ago. But yeah, the main one, like I said, is down having a go in, I think came second on the weekend.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so it does well.
There's a distinct lack of doors in all these cars, eh?
Yeah, you just got to climb in.
Full
Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard it through the
Yeah.
window.
And again, everything's offset, you know, the motor's a bit to the left. Everything's designed purely to go around left-hand corners.
I didn't realise how big the series was, to be honest.
And Speedway's huge in the States as
It's
well,
outrageous.
isn't it?
They just don't stop over there. And there's guys that live, a lot of them live purely off the winnings. Of the-
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. And they race,
That's cool, man.
non-stop. So yeah,
Can we do that instead of fab work?
it's full on over there.
Please.
So,
I'd be a poor man.
yeah.
Put Morgan in the car. Morgan, I got a job for you. Hang up the welder. And like full fab shop as well, obviously,
Oh,
Josh.
yeah. So the full fabrication shop here. So we've got one fab guy, another guy about to start as well. Race car fabrication, certainly with the speedway side of things. A long time ago, as I might have mentioned before, they made race cars ground up.
Yep.
And probably about 5, 6, 7 years ago, they sort of stopped doing that, but they're getting back into it now. So a few new things here. So they've got plasma cutter here, so it's like robotic or computer controlled pipe cutting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that
Tube laser.
shoots. Yep.
Is the aim to offer like a turnkey car?
Yep. So they can offer turnkey, or they can supply the chassis and you do the rest, or we offer
So they
every
don't
part.
use a control chassis for the series then? Or?
There's all the rules, but
but
they
you
don't.
can operate
no.
within that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So essentially what
Most
I'm
of them-
hearing is,
Yeah.
sorry, you can come and get a fully kitted out BT50 and then you can come and get a fully kitted out Speedway car. All you need to do is start selling trailers, mate. You can just turn up here, spend 250 grand and go racing.
250,
Take
that's
the
the
car.
deposit.
Yeah, that's
True,
the start, yeah. So we sort of have our spot in the shop here, so as we grow, we're looking to move to our
Yeah.
own shop, but at the moment working out of here is awesome because we have the support
Access.
here as well, access, and we can use some of the fabrication stuff when we need to.
How good, eh? What a workshop.
So very fortunate to be part of the family and try and build my own thing as well.
So obviously, Josh, this is what we'll be replacing.
Yeah, so new control arm, we'll pull this out, get this adjusted up,
Yeah.
make it nice and high, and then sort of a bit hard to see from here, but the diff drop underneath is where you're going to save the CVs at that higher height, at that lifted height.
Cool.
So and we'll just make sure everything's sitting right. Obviously get a wheel alignment, we'll push the wheel as far forward as we can to clear the back. It may need a bit more clearance in here.
Yep.
We can help with that as
I
well.
know a bloke who's pretty handy on the air axle.
You do?
Yeah. Morgan. Well, what do you
us.
think? We should leave Josh alone, go grab a coffee?
Sounds good.
Let's
Let's do it.
Okay, who ordered what?
Oh, I believe I had the half-drunk cappuccino with the lipstick on the rim.
Yes, and this with the cigarette butt in it, is that decaf?
We're back, we've been out, we got a coffee, run some errands. Josh has been cracking along with the car.
Yep.
Go in and check it out.
All right, so we're back inside. Josh and Johnny have just finished up on the BT50. From here, go get to wheel alignment. That's right.
Yeah. Basically,
get up the
so
road?
the arms are in. That worked out really well. Johnny said they were quite easy to do. So really nice bit of kit. Diff drops in, got the height up. Confidently going to get another probably 40 mil from where it was.
Sick.
So
that's
it's
cool.
definitely sagged down a little bit, which happens. So yeah, we've definitely gone up. Obviously, we'll see that result once it's done.
Yeah.
Even after wheel alignment, they can change as well. So
How good do these arms look with the BP shocks?
yeah,
Like
the
they're
colouring
made to be a
just
pair. It's
happened to work out,
perfect.
yeah. And they just really nice bit of kit. All worked out well. Yeah, like I said, just we need a wheel alignment. We'll double check all the heights, check tyre fitment as well. So make sure that's all looking good. But yeah,
On the note of tyre fitment,
yep,
I've heard a rumour that there are new fuel wheels out that we might be able to
yeah.
try.
So love the KMCs and the shiny ones, but yeah, this is brand new wheel.
I really,
Yeah.
I was so on the fence about getting rid of the KMCs, but coming in and seeing this thing,
Yeah.
and these wheels are a similar style to the
Similar
ones we've
style.
been talking about.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. So these are the Rincons. They're also pretty new. The ones that we're looking at, a little less aggressive on the side, on the bead lock
yep,
or imitation bead lock,
yep.
and a bit sharper spoke. But yeah, brand new. Literally landed. First ones landed in Australia Friday, like 3 days ago. Yeah, it'd be cool to see them on there. We've also got some colour-coded flares underway.
Yep.
So get them on there, so it'll be perfectly all covered up. Yeah, excited to see them. They'll be same sort of fitment as your current ones, but yeah, different style of wheel.
Well, I'm excited to see it with the KMCs.
Sitting right.
I think sitting right.
Yep.
What sort of lift do you reckon you got out of that?
I think Josh said about 40, right?
About 40 more than where it was.
Yep.
So it should
So
be
it
just.
should now sit with a little bit of nose up. Yeah.
And that's what we're up to now, wheels back on.
We haven't had Johnny on the show yet. This is Johnny. I actually haven't really done much at all.
You're not
He's the
supposed
guy-
to tell
that-
people.
That's why it's already done.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, this is a bad way to spend the day.
Hi, Paul.
What that is there is full droop. So when it comes down, we'll then remeasure that same height. That'll give us our lift height, but it'll also give us how much droop there is. So the max droop from where it sits as standard. So important to know the travel.
Boy, it looks huge.
For 40 mil, it actually doesn't look nose up.
No.
Like it must have been so nose down when it came here. I never
Right.
noticed it.
So it's got about 40 mil of droop. Same. Sweet. Just under 4 inch. It's 95.63. So it's a 535.
What are they standard?
535 mil hub to guard.
Yeah.
Around 530, 535.
Yeah.
And yours is now, I'm going to release this, but yours is now 630. So 4 inch,
dog.
yeah. So that's how it'll settle a little bit. Wheel alignment will change a little bit, tiny bit, but it's not going to go below 3 inch.
Looks good. Really, really good. So on that note, we're going to get out of here. We've got a meeting to get back to. Josh got to do a wheel alignment. We're going to leave the car here for a couple of days. Josh has very also kindly agreed to fit the rock sliders for us. Thank you for that.
We'll sort that.
I really didn't want
Easy.
to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see you in a couple of days.
Yeah, it should be all ready to go.
If you feel so obliged that you want to try those new wheels on and send me some pictures.
Yeah. That's probably easier.
If that's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know that I want to see it.
We'll sort that out.
See you in a couple of days.
Cool, mate. No
Thank
worries.
you.
All right, thanks, mate.
Let's go.
2 days later.
All right, so we're back at Built Wyld. Josh had the car for a couple of days. I think we've got rock sliders fitted, new wheels, new tyres, because unfortunately the tyres on the KMCs were buggered from the bead locks. The flares are on. I think that's it. I haven't seen it yet. Josh messaged me last night. He's like, hey man, you want to see a picture of these wheels? And I did so badly, but I was like, nah, leave it for tomorrow. So let's go in and check it out. I'm excited. How's poor Josh? Even had to pull the tyres off of his own car for me. So he called me yesterday and was like, man, the tyres on the KMCs are just no good. The bead lock has stuffed the bead. I was like, what do we do about getting tyres? Just pulled them off his own car. What a bloody guy. Oh. You've already seen it, this isn't fair. That looks fucking awesome. Oh man, that looks so much better.
Come out perfect, mate.
That's unreal. Yeah, very, very happy.
Not many people pull
Thank
off
you.
the shiny wheels and go the grey, but I think you've done the right thing though.
I
think you've done the
agree.
right thing.
Man, that looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, great wheels. First time I've ever seen them. Super deep for the offset as well.
The concave is sick, hey?
Mega concave for the offset. I don't think there's another wheel like it. So, first one I've seen on a car.
It just looks so much better.
Yeah. Flares sort of nearly disappear. They just give you a bit of coverage there.
And they're the same size tyre.
Exact same size tyre.
It's funny how much smaller they look with the flares on, hey?
The flares just cover them up a bit, yeah.
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 Man, that looks unreal.
But yeah.
Sliders fitted.
The sliders fitted really well.
Did
Yeah,
they?
Talk to the boys, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Nice and easy. So, yeah, they're neat, solid bit of kit. Like they're going to do really good off-road if you hit anything with them.
Yeah.
I saw the light.
Yeah,
Ability to
it's
put
got
lights
the
inside. It's really
provisions for the
cool. Yeah.
lights, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a nice addition, but yeah, super neat. I would do one more thing would be the blackout, which we've already talked about. But
Yeah.
like blacking out the grille and thing like that.
What's it drive like?
Yeah, good. It drives the same as it did before. Like
Yeah.
a couple of wise. So the lift changing that height didn't really change anything
Yeah.
in the way it drives. So really nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously the front end's basically just higher, so.
Yeah. I should have just dropped it off and left it with you from the start.
Day one, we could have sorted it out.
Yeah. For anyone watching at home, if they're in the market for either a new car or a turnkey weekend warrior package, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Yeah, obviously the socials, so Instagram or Facebook or my website, you've got the phone number there, so
Yeah.
call, email,
Yeah.
let us know.
One thing I will say is that Josh's communication throughout this whole week has been absolutely unreal, letting me know about the tyres, pulling tyres off his own car so that we could get this back for the weekend. He's fitted rock sliders, wheels, tyres, flares, upper control arms, lifted the front more. The car's absolutely transformed in the last couple of days and I'm absolutely stoked with the results. It looks unreal. So,
Happy to help, mate.
Really, really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
No, it's come out the way I like to see them come out. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I like to make sure they leave the shop the
Yeah.
way I'd want it.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Like I
Probably
said
similar to you.
before, I should have just left it here from the start because we've actually bought this as a brand new car from Josh,
Yep.
what, a year and a half ago now.
Yep.
So anyway, lesson learned. Leave it with Josh from the start.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the thing. We can, if you're buying a new car, certainly Mazdas and Fords, we can help you with the purchase of the car
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And actually, you pick up the car, you don't have to worry about looking at it standard. You can pick it up completely finished like this, or even further. So.
And I know, like for me personally, like all this stuff I probably could have done myself, but
Yep.
you know it in and out. It's a no-brainer for me to leave it with you, and seeing how it's turned out, yeah. So if you're in the market, definitely get in contact with Josh. I could not recommend it enough.
Thanks.
That's right. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Let you know how it goes up the beach this
Yeah,
week.
mate. Yeah. No, should be sweet.
Get some good shots. Try not to roll it, eh, Paul? Can't make any promises.
All right, so it's a few days later and we've actually just wrapped up the content trip we were talking about earlier. Got so many Ks on it, we've basically run out of fuel on the beach, parked in front of the ferry. So luckily, hopefully, we'll make it to the fuel station on the other side.
Yeah, we've driven the brand new fuel wheels clean off the thing, eh?
Yeah. It's been an unreal trip.
It has been really good, man.
I was lucky enough to be driving this the whole weekend. Poor Dom's been in the Ranger.
Struggling it out in the Ranger.
Yeah. But it has been unreal. So comfy on the sand. Like, I have driven once on the sand before and had no dramas. We've been through some pretty soft stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
And watching the car from the Raptor, it looked like it performed well. It looks so freaking good on the beach now.
Yeah.
Man, it looks unreal to see it coming towards you on the beach.
Insert some shots here. We had some awesome sunrise, sunset moments. It was cool. So it's a real unit now.
It is, yeah. And I think it's testament to Josh's knowledge on the platform. It drives good, it looks good, the flares cover the wheels perfectly. We've got the Bay House rock sliders and bash plates on it now. They've performed well all weekend. It's got our snorkel and airbox in it, which is copped a hiding.
Yeah, well tested on that one.
So I know that it gets deep just to the right of the lily pads there. Let's see how we went. Sorry, Morgs. I promise the carpet stayed dry.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, really good weekend. The car is performing faultlessly. And we couldn't be happier with what Josh has delivered for us, hey?
Man, this is something you can drop the kids off to school and still really put it through its paces.
I think I've heard you say it a couple of times this weekend. This thing is literally like driving a car.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
but yeah, I guess it's about it, eh? What else?
Yeah, huge shout out, to Built Wyld. That's unreal.
Big thanks to Josh. Thanks to Bay House for the sliders. Thanks to me for the snorkeling airboard.
And I guess we'll be following it up with a bit of a full rundown on everything we've done to the car.
Yeah.
And but have a look for that on our B channel soon.
So if you've got any questions that we don't cover, or if you've got any recommendations of stuff that we could also do to the car to make it better for more beach activities, drop a comment, let us know.
Please. Suggested video here. Spot on. Thank you.
What do you think, Paul?
I think that's all you needed, right?